Malaysia, from my understanding, is a very interesting spot by attracting investment into the chip industry. I mean, I go way back. I remember Intel was in Penang from 1972. You have a chip industry, but you're attracting a lot of the big names, NVIDIA, Google, Microsoft. You know, there are going to be data centers, ByteDance as well. What have been the crux of your discussions here in China over those 9 days?
We are looking to expedite Malaysia's transition from the existing back-end part of the semiconductor into the front end. And
so design, things like that.
Integrated
so not just assembly and data centers.
Yes. And China has been able to do that quite well. And it's very much related to the kind of innovation that they have been able to roll out with their consumer products businesses. IC design is very much related to electronics products. We've been talking to companies that form the front-end design ecosystems. I think they also see there's a good fit with Malaysia and ASEAN, because ASEAN is expected to grow to become a strong and big consumer product markets in the next 10-15 years. And the kind of market environment that allow IC designs that you have seen in China, there's also that fit and potential in ASEAN, and Malaysia has a very strong foothold in semiconductor.
Do you find yourself in an interesting position as kind of representing the global south in the way of these non-aligned countries that are moving up the value chain, as you just described, but being non-aligned to the bifurcated world that we've seen? Let's face it. I'm sure you've heard this question before between China and the United States. You're attracting the likes of Google and NVIDIA, but also the Chinese chip designers. Does that put you also at potential risk, or do you see this as a great advantage?
It is both, actually, but we have been able to build our economy in the last 50 years on a few important philosophy that we know our place in the world. We are a small country, but we are also very open, and we are fiercely non-aligned, and therefore we've exerted our active neutrality to make sure that we offer the best value proposition to all our partners. Over the last 50 years, we've become an important part of the global supply value chain. And I think that will remain a complicated issues to navigate, but we've done it for the last 50 years.
Now, I've heard of as well, ByteDance, for one, likes to see Malaysia as perhaps building a AI hub. How are you going to be part of the AI boom and supply chain, not only for the American companies, because as I mentioned, NVIDIA, a data center, Microsoft, Google, Intel's been there for a long time, but for the Chinese companies, you have contracts ready to sign beyond ByteDance and the others?
We've met ByteDance. Of course, I think the focus now is to strengthen our infrastructure offering. The reason why Malaysia is seen to be very important for AI for ASEAN region is because our leadership of the data center industry. So apart from ByteDance, a lot of our discussions with potential Chinese investors so far are those who are planning to build more data centers catered for Chinese companies that will be running the LLMs and everything for ASEAN in Malaysia.